this is one of the lessons I really like. Trust me, I know I've said this in some lessons. Maybe I just love everything draping. But in this lesson, we'll be seeing how or answer questions that you guys have regarding if I have just one dress form and maybe this dress form is a size 10. In the other lesson, I talk about how to buy dress forms, things to consider when buying dress forms. But in this particular lesson, we'll be talking about padding your dress forms. So it means that this is a size 10 dress form, and I know that I said that a size 10 dress form can work for a size 8, size 10, size 12. Now, if you had stopped the lesson at that video, then you are going to be missing this because this particular dress form can be padded into a size 14. It can also be padded into a size 16. Now, I always advise that when you're padding, don't pad too much, like too far away from the actual size of the dress form, because there are some parts that you know that, for example, maybe the shoulder, the wideness of the chest, you might not be able to move your padding. You can, but trust me, you want to be able to imitate the body figures as much as possible. But you can pad about 2 sizes from the actual dress form. That's to increase. When padding, you cannot reduce the size of the dress form. Okay, it's important to know that you can't reduce. How do you intend to reduce? You can't reduce it. The dress form is rigid. Okay, so you can't reduce. You can only increase the size of the dress form. Now, apart from, when we talked about saying, oh, this is a size 10, then you can increase to a size 12. But I said you're going to have to pin down and hold the dress at the back. You can decide not to hold the dress at the back and still have a perfectly fitted dress with a size 12 dress on this size 10 dress form, or a size 14 dress on this size 10 dress form. I prefer that you pad rather than holding at the back, because when you hold at the back, remember, if the chest is wider, if the chest of the dress is wider than this, by the time you hold at the back, the chest will tilt in. So where your chest is supposed to stop here, but it will tilt it into a side seam, or even the side seam of the dress that is supposed to stop here will probably go in. Now, this is not exactly a good way to represent your garment. So the best option you have is to pad your dress forms. So padding your dress forms, one of the advantage of doing that is to give fit to the garment you're trying to display on the dress form. And of course, even if you're not displaying, let's say you are walking on the dress and it's on the dress form, you can easily know that, oh, this is a bust point, and maybe I want to put beading that will pass across the bust point or pass across the chest area. I am sure of how that will sit on the client. I am not just assuming. Okay, and then another advantage of that is that you can use it to increase the size. For example, the big dress form, the size 16 I showed us in the previous lesson, size 16 video, I use it to make a dress for a size 18, I think size 18 or 20 clients. And I had to pad the bust just to see the beauty of the dress. And of course, even because I wanted to make a video of the dress, I was able to use the padding techniques. And she's even a new mom, so it means she has this belly pouch. There was a way we're also able to pad the dress form in a way that it's took in that belly pouch. So when I said took in, I mean like we're able to represent that belly pouch on the dress form, because you're working with someone like that who has a belly pouch is the tummy is still protruding because new moms still have their tummy is big a bit. So, but if you're going to be now making a dress using a dress form that has a flat tummy or a tummy like this is not a tummy for someone that just gave birth. You are going to be mistaking it because by the time the person wears the dress, the tummy is still going to come out. So whatever you are doing, whether you are draping or you are designing a dress, you want to represent at least every part of the person's body on the dress form. Okay, so if you follow at Sodium Design School, you will see a video of how we part the dress form to imitate the new mom body. You can go on our Instagram page to check that. So before we start padding, I would like to take note of the measurements we have for this dress form. So for the bust measurement, we have 36. Okay, we have 36 inches. For the waist measurement, we have 28. This is 28 1/4 though. This is 28 1/4. Okay, and then for the hip, we have 38. We have 38. So this is 36, 28 1/4, 38. 36, 36, 28 1/4, 38. Okay, let me just be sure of my 38 again. Yes, 38. Now, I am going to be putting in the shell cups in the lesson where we talk about tools and establish why we are using this. So I'm going to put in the shell cups. So they come in different sizes, which I explained in that video. They come in different sizes and colors. We in our store we have black, white, and nude. So you can see that this size is smaller than this size. Okay, so I'm going to be working with the big size. So of course, I'm going to put this in the middle of the bust and pin down. What I'm trying to do here is to pad my dress form to increase the size. So say maybe I want to work with a bust 30. This is a bust 36. I want to work with a bust 37. And even though with 36 I can still wear the dress form, but I really want to have the exact body measurements on the dress form. This is what you're going to be doing. Okay, now you look at the space between here and here, this line, and imitate it here as well. So they are both on the same size. So that means I want here from this measurement to this measurement to be the same from here to here. Okay, you can take your tip to measure. If you can also figure it out by looking at it, then that's fine. Now, if you don't have the red lines, you can still work with it because most times the dress forms come with seam lines. If I take this red line off, there's a seam line there at the center front. But if your dress form does not have that, you can still eyeball it, or you buy a drape tape and to outline the areas like your center front, your bust line, like that. Not always compulsory, but if you feel like you really want that, then it's fine. So we have this. Now I want to see the bust measurements now. Remember we had 36 before. Let's see what we have with this tape, with this padding now. So we have about 30. We have more than 36 and a half now. We have 36 3/4. So meaning that this pad increased this bust by 3/4. By 3/4, what I measured was 36 3/4. So it increased it by 3/4. So it means that if I really want 37, I can increase the pad. Okay, so what I'll do is take a small size of this pad, put in, and cover up with this big size. So you see this comes out more. So if you have a bigger version of this pad as well, you can put on top. But of course, you want to keep measuring all the way as you go.